Get the Balance Right is a classic song by Depeche Mode. I am a huge fan, actually, of Depeche Mode, and there's much to say about them. Get the Balance Right was released in 1983. According to Wikipedia, it is the first song to feature Alan Wilder on it. It was not featured on any of their albums, but it was featured on a singles compilation and some others. Get the Balance Right also had a music video to it. It was quite popular during the time of 1983. I would also say that the song is probably the first attempt at we know as the Depeche Mode sound. Before then, Depeche Mode was more in that weird minimal wave synth pop kind of niche audience, and I think Get the Balance Right was the first track to change a different to their more goth style that is well known on Some Great Reward and future releases. The lyrics to Get the Balance Right is very meaningful, and I think it has a lot to do with this generation and its suffering. So, what's the song about? Well, accordingly, as the lyrics go, quote, "There's more besides joy rides, little house in the countryside, understand, learn to demand, compromise, sometimes lie." This goes in the first verse. There's there more to life than just joy rides, the little house in the countryside in the middle of nowhere, wherever you are in America, or where everywhere other than a metropolitan city. You have to understand these pre-Socratic notions in life, to learn to demand, be something of a animal, to win in this fake social world, and to compromise, yet ironically sometimes lie, so you could get the balance right. There is, quote, "Be responsible, respectable, stable, but not gullible, concerned and caring, help the helpless, but always remain ultimately selfish." You could be responsible, you could be respectable, you could graduate with an undergrad degree in something silly, you could be stable but gullible, you could be concerned and caring, you could be a liberal and help the helpless, but ironically, you always remain ultimately selfish. Why is that? Then get the balance right. Last verse of the line say, quote, "You think you got a hold of it all. You haven't got a hold at all. When you reach the top, get ready to drop. Prepare yourself for the fall. You're gonna fall. It's almost predictable." Almost predictable. As if when you reach the top, you could fall any second. Don't take this way, don't take that way. Straight down the middle until next Thursday. Push to the left, back to the right. Twist and turn till you got it right. Get the balance right. I don't know what that last line's supposed to mean. Probably just a fun little chant just to make the song more interesting. I mean, what is the balance exactly? According to the album art of this for Get the Balance Right, if we have these little fascist, communist, little, Russian constructivist artwork going on here, and we have the guy in red that doesn't get the balance right, as if it's referring to this society where we're controlled by some outer force we don't know of. I kind of look at this song not only as a criticism to bourgeois life and upper middle class suburbia, but maybe it is the tensions of, as a millennial, something of that nature, your mid 20s. Do you have a girlfriend? Are you going to get married with her? Are you going to have a full-time job? Are you going to get $40,000 a year? Are you going to have a house? Are you going to have 3 kids? Are you going to transition into adulthood in this single year? Those huge, big questions. And unfortunately, with all that anxiety going on and that interest to go forth, you're only left with get the balance right. As if somebody in the institutions you've been going through since elementary, middle, high school, even college, all you hear is some guy in power telling you to get the balance right, as if they themselves are oppressed by the societies they live in, and that there's something unright by getting married and having a family life, as it is quite not possible to do so because of tensions in society and understandings oneself from youth to adulthood, if that's possible. The existence of life as innocence fades away and you become guilty, and the transition, if you can ever call one, into adulthood. When are those fine lines made? I don't know, but I always felt that Get the Balance Right was about that subject. The song was quite popular during the time. One clip I found on it was on an unknown English TV show where this young person named Kathy Davis sent in a letter telling her favorite band was Depeche Mode, and the host got Depeche Mode on, and there's a video of her doing karaoke with Gahan, and it's almost as if, Depeche Mode being that early boy band, and at the very end of the skit, he gives Kathy a kiss and gives her I think a Casio VL tone, or a VL1, those little things that have the little rock one thing on it, which I think is funny, where they wrote the song on it. I think that's interesting. But it just goes to show its popularity of the Depeche Mode having influence among the teenage crowd and their potentials being a boy band. But the song kind of hits home with this millennial generation, as if millennials are being told by our liberal professors to do great things, when all that happens is they create quote-unquote safe spaces, quote-unquote trigger all this stupid Tumblr culture stuff, all these things that the alt-right made up against normie culture, and normie culture is now backing out of it. To get the balance right is just not possible in this chaotic society, that we cannot realize our social narratives. And so what happens is, I think we are failing, and we become to the realizations that some of us are losers and that there are winners. And when we hear the word get the balance right, it's a reminder how much are we losing and how much we're losers. But that's early pessimistic Depeche Mode. I mean, the B-side on that same single is The Great Outdoors, which is an instrumental. Kind of funny with the anarcho-fascist green message of Stripped. That has another story, but still, Get the Balance Right is classic Depeche Mode, and could also say something about this society we live in. Personally, when I hear it, I'm always reminded that some outer force is telling me to get the balance right, and that this silly liberal world called America is not right, and that maybe there needs to be an alternative view. As the funny Depeche Mode message likes to say, maybe there needs to be a different way of looking at things. I don't know, Asian Aryanism? That's one way I'm going to go about things, but it's definitely something of the tension of white society makes us are forced to form one, get the balance right. And as long as white society can reconstruct itself to be an okay place and not this totalitarian state or whatever, then I think we can get over that. But